Okay, so the average number of units in the system, this is equation 1119. It's like we're doing half the book on this problem, which is just going to be B5, equal sign, B5 times B15. B5 times B15. So the average number of people in the system is 0.87. Average number of units waiting in line, this is equation 11.2, so that's equals B5 times B14. 0.122. Average time a unit spends in line, or a person, either way. Average time a unit spends in line equals B12 divided by B5. 0.16. Now, okay, I'll talk about that in a second. Average time a unit spends in the system equals B14 plus 1 divided by B6. Okay, and now what I'm trying to figure out is exactly what we're calculating here, because we already did these numbers. Why do I have, why do I have this stuff? Because the average number of units in the system here is the same as average number of customers in the system. Yeah, and the numbers match. Okay, so we're doing the same, we're using new equations to do the same thing. So I want to be very clear on what we're doing and why we're doing it. You see how these numbers here match these numbers up here? Okay, we're using different equations to solve the same thing, just so you see that there's different approaches. Okay, then the last thing we're doing is we're going to calculate total cost, because it actually asks us in the problem in the book, and the Burger Dome doesn't get into this too much, but you'll need to know this for your homework. They'll give you total cost, so the service cost per hour they give us is 7. So $7 an hour minimum wage when this was written. Waiting cost per time period for unit per hour. Okay, so that's the cost of waiting that they figured out. So what they want us to do is figure out the total cost of having 2 channels with these wait times and so forth. So the total cost is equals B32 times B13 plus, I messed that up, times B13 plus B31 times B4. All right. So the total cost is 22.72. That's it. That's that whole monsters problem. That should give you, I expanded that problem from what it really was, so you have in there everything you need to do the sample and homework problems. The key is going to be to actually, we got all the equations in there, that's the important part, but as I mentioned several times, you got to read these chapters and spend a little time with this to actually understand what you're doing. If you understand that the concepts are really easy, waiting in line, we've all waited in line. The more so than almost anything else we've done, we should be able to understand what it's doing and why it's calculating and so forth. That's going to be necessary you're going to need to think through this stuff a little bit when you go to solve. It's going to be a little plug and play, but at times you're going to need to play with some things here and there. So it's going to ask the questions in different ways. It's going to be worded a little different. And you're going to need to understand what they're getting at with the wording and how it applies to this. So it's going to take some thought. So make sure that you're thinking things through. But you have all the equations you'll need, and you're pretty much set for doing the samples.
Can I see B34 again?
B34. B34, yes.
What's the formula for that?
I'm getting there. Can you see it around everything? Okay. All right, so samples 16 through 19, homework 22, 23, yes.
So the Visual Basic function that we made, that stays within each workbook or within each sheet?
Should be within each workbook.
Okay, cool.
But if it doesn't work, you can do it again. Yeah, it'll be obvious. You'll go to get it and it just won't be there.
Got it.
Question.
Yes,
I didn't put in the Visual Basic, but everything still worked.
the PO is already in there.
No, I didn't put it in. But all my answers came up.